everybody. I hope you're all staying healthy. I'm glad you could join us. We've been going over the last few weeks trying to figure out how we can keep because we do a trivia in New York. We're in Queens right now, and we wanted to make sure that we would stay connected with our players. This is for us and both the bar we do it at, and it's been super popular. I had more people participate the last 2 Thursdays in trivia than I've had the last 2 weeks before that at the bar. So it's a really good thing. And they all are asking me how they can donate to some of the bartenders and the bar itself. So I think it's a really great way to get people to join trivia when we're all dealing with this right now. I hope you're all really safe, healthy. And I'm going to go through this. It is a little complicated. That's why I'm doing the webinar. I think the guide was good, but it's tough to follow because there's so many different moving parts of this. It's easy if you want to do a trivia that is just for individuals and it's not a team. Then you just get a Zoom account. You can ask the questions. They can just send you a message with the answers for each round. When you're doing team trivia, which is the draw of bar trivia anyway, because people can hang out with their friends in groups away from the main area, it's a little more complicated, but it's super fun. So let's start from the very top. First thing you need is a Zoom account. You're going to go over to zoom.us and just sign up for an account. That's zoom.us. I've done that already, and I've started a new meeting, and I'll show you how to set up that new meeting for group trivia. So I'm going to share my screen now. Okay, so this is the meeting that we're on right now. And I'm going to go into my Zoom account. Now, the Zoom account needs to be, unfortunately, paid. It's $14 a month, but that gives you the option to have 100 players, and it allows the trivia to take place, or the meeting itself to take place for longer than 40 minutes. So a paid account is kind of necessary. I guess you could do it. It'd be hard to do in 40 minutes. You could restart the meeting, but that would be kind of a pain in the butt. So it might be worth spending the $14 a month for that. And once you decide you signed up for the Zoom account and you want to set up the meeting, you just click meetings right here. These are all my meetings that are set up, including the meeting today and all the different trivias that I have we do this on Thursday nights. But to schedule a new one, you're going to click schedule a new meeting and just fill in all of these different details. So we'll call this trivia night. Don't worry about a template. Description is not really necessary. Pick a day. Let's say we're doing this, let's say Friday at 6:30. It'll last about 2 hours. This doesn't really mean much. It's just for the people to see when they sign up. You can start the meeting whenever you want. It can last as long as you want it to last. I always click recurring meeting because I'm doing this once a week. And I recur it weekly, repeat every 1 week, and everything sort of stays the same. Registration, I don't require registration for our trivia. It's not necessary, nor do I require a meeting password. You're going to put the video on for both the host and the participant. And I like to make it computer audio, no reason for the phone. I don't click enable before join. I mute participants on entry, but they can mute themselves. You can enable a waiting room. You don't really have to. And if you want, you can even record this, and it can record in the cloud or on your computer. I save it. And there's your meeting. If you look down where it says invite attendees, that is the URL for the meeting. So if you have I'm assuming you'll probably have a list of people that played your trivia, or you can post it on Facebook, wherever you want. Post that so they know where they're going to go to join the meeting. And everything is all set. So let's pretend it's Thursday or Friday at 6:30, and we decide to start the meeting. You're going to go back to Zoom, go to meetings, click the meeting that you just made, and then click start this meeting. So I'm going to pretend we did this, and the meeting we're in right now is the meeting that I just started. So I'm going back to, this is what I see on my Zoom. And all you need to do is you start it up. You're going to start with video coming in. Once you're logged in, people come by, and now we start talking about the most complicated part, which is breakout rooms. Zoom has a really great system of putting people in their own teams, in their own rooms, when you want them to be by themselves in their own rooms. The tricky part about that is that when they're in their own rooms, they really can't get any messages, video, screen shares, or anything from you. When they're in their own rooms, they're going to just be able to see a message from you. So first, we create the rooms. If you go down here, you'll see breakout rooms. It might be here. It could be here if you're not recording this. Click breakout rooms. Now you'll see how we do these breakout rooms. You got to have an idea of how many teams you have. If you have less or more, that's okay. You can always add another breakout room, but you're going to manually create these rooms. Let's say we have 6 teams. I click create rooms after I do it manually, and 6 rooms. Okay, so now we see all the different breakout rooms. My suggestion before you start is to make sure that your players put a team name next to their username, so this process is a little bit easier. Because what you're going to do first is, let's rename this room Trivia Team 1. Okay, and then we assign people to the room. When I click assign, all of the users' names will appear. So if they have their team name next to their username, all you have to do is click the ones that are in the different rooms, right? So let's say Michelle and Raymond are in one team. I click them. They belong to this room. Then I go to another room, breakout room 2, or trivia room 2, whatever. We can put Vicky and Shelby in that room. That's basically how you create the breakout rooms. So once everybody is set in the breakout rooms, I usually exit out of this and I explain to them the rules. What I usually tell them is that we're going to start a trivia that is very similar to the trivia that we do on Thursday nights. I put you into breakout rooms and your trivia team are all in that room together. Right now, you're in the main room. Let me get my notes. I actually wrote notes for this. Okay, so all the same rules apply. Don't look up answers. This is a big deal because it's going to be very difficult for you to monitor this. The way it's been working for our trivia for years is that a lot of the teams know each other and they don't tend to cheat, and I can sort of tell if they are. It's the same way here. You just got to sort of guilt them into not cheating. They can have their phones next to them and you would have no idea. So this is kind of an honor system. It sort of has to be. And I tell them that the next thing, I'm sorry if I'm being a little confusing. I need to make sure you need to make sure that each of the teams has a captain, because he's the only person who's going to be sending you answers so it doesn't get confusing. I'll tell them, once I put them in the breakout rooms, to figure out who your team captain is. The first thing I'm going to give them when they go in the breakout room is our first general knowledge quiz. So to do that, I'm not going to do it right now. I would go back to breakout rooms. I'd say something like, good luck, keep an eye on the screen. You're going to be going in with your own teams. And I click open all breakout rooms. When I click open all breakout rooms, a message will pop up that'll tell them to join their breakout rooms. And then this same format we have here will move to just their teams. They'll only be able to see each other. They can talk to each other. They can even share a screen with each other. But the one thing they can't do is they can't see me. So how do we get the questions from the host into the team groups? So if you're at a bar, you have a microphone, or you might do PowerPoints, and they're at their tables and they see and hear you. For this, it's a little bit different. Now, the way we do it, and how I'm going to do this, is I'm going to put one person, my colleague, in a breakout room, so I show you how I send it out. Because if I put you all in breakout rooms, you won't see what I'm doing. So, okay, so I'm going to assign Sabrina to this breakout room. And I'm going to click open all breakout rooms. Okay, now she has been invited into a breakout room. And now I want to get a question to their team in that breakout room. This is how we do it. Now you might have different ways of doing this, and that's fine. You can share the questions by emailing them. There's different ways to do this. This is the way that we found was most fun because they're going to see the questions one at a time. I won't be reading it to them. So I go to my trivia pack, which is somewhere over here. Okay, so this is the trivia questions. This was from a week ago. I'm going to take the first question, which is this. I highlight it. I copy it. Then I go to this little magic button here that says broadcast a message to all. I do number 1 or whatever question number it is. I post it and I click broadcast. Now you're not seeing this, but what's happening on their screen is they are getting a flash on the screen that lasts for probably about 10 seconds, maybe a little bit less, of the question. I show the question, I let them talk about it for maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes, maybe less. You got to sort of time it right based on the people that are playing your trivia. And then I send it one more time in case they didn't get it. Broadcast. So what happens then is they answer the question, the team captain writes the answer down, and those answers, he's going to write down the answers for all the questions. I'm going through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to 10 for general knowledge. And he's going to write down the answers to those questions. And then he's going to do one of 2 things.
Hey guys, I'm just going to pop in here real quick. I hope you're enjoying the video, and I will get to Google Forms in a minute, but I want to also let you know we have a much easier way to accept answer sheets now than creating a Google form or having somebody email you the answers. This video was done about 9 months ago at the beginning of the pandemic, and in that time we've developed a web app called Trivet. And it's free to all of our subscribers. And Trivet is basically a simple way for your teams to submit their answers right through a web page. And it's triv.it. When you start a game, you give them a game code. They put the game code in, and 10 boxes appear. They answer the questions after you send them through the breakout rooms. They click send. It automatically gets sent to you, the host, and it actually gets tabulated as well. And you just got to mark right or wrong, but all of the questions will be tabulated automatically. It's super, super, super easy, and we just want to let you know that that comes free for all of our subscribers. So we're going to get to Google Forms, but at this point, it's kind of obsolete since we created Trivet. For more information on Trivet, you can check out our website. There's a little icon up here that says Trivet, and just click that. It shows you more information about how Trivet works. It's going to make your life a million times easier. But just in case, Google Forms are coming up.
First option is that at the end of the game, at the end of the round, have him email you the answers. That's the simplest way to do it. And then you go through your emails and you grade it. If you have 8 teams, it shouldn't take you too long. The other option is you can create Google Forms. That is a bit more complicated, but at the end of this part of the webinar, after I take questions, I'll go over how we do Google Forms in case that's something you'd be interested in. So let's assume that person just emailed you the answers. You go to your email, you grade it like you normally would grade the answer sheet for round number 1. And then you normally, just like you would put it in your sheet, into the score sheet, and figure out the questions. Or figure out the answers and the scores, excuse me. Then you're going to go back to breakout room. And when you're done grading, when you're done with all that, you go like this. Close all breakout rooms. Close the rooms. The teams will then get a message that they have to come back. It'll be sent back automatically in 60 seconds, or they can click something, and then they're back in this general space. Okay? Is there any questions before I continue that anything that was a little confusing? Just raise your hand and I'll unmute you, or you can unmute yourself. We're good? Okay. So then we just keep doing that. You go to the next round. You give the scores, the answers, and then you say, okay, next round is going to be sports or whatever it is. Then you do the same thing. You go back to breakout rooms, and then they didn't close yet. That's why I had that message. But once that message is gone, because we're back here for long enough, you're going to click breakout rooms again. And everybody is now going to be prompted to go back into the breakout room, and you do the same thing. What you're going to do at that point is you're going to, again, go to breakout rooms, press message, go back to your sheet, and post the message for the next for the next round. And you do that 5 times. It lasted a little bit longer for us when we've done it, maybe another half hour, but people weren't too upset because I don't think they have much to do anyway, so they were kind of happy. And what was really fun for them, and they really, really appreciated this, at the end of the game, what I did is I sort of put them all back in their breakout rooms, and I just left Zoom running. And they would hang out with each other for like an hour, sort of like they're at the bar and trivia is over, or they're at, we have a librarian in the library that does this, and they could just hang out and talk, and it was really good for them. They were really, really happy. We had about 40 players do it the first Thursday. We were almost at 60 last Thursday. They're telling their friends, and you know, I'm worried at some point we're going to hit the 100 mark for our $14 plan. So it's really, really great. It keeps us connected to them too. Let me see if there's anything else I missed. The picture round. Okay, so you also have a picture round. That can be emailed to them, and then the captains or anybody can just share it on their screen in the breakout rooms. What we do is and this is getting into the forms part of it, we create a Google Drive that is shareable via link, and I put the picture round in the Google Drive, and I give them the link for that drive so they can see everything that's in that folder. That's also where I put the forms. Just have to be careful not to put your questions in that folder because they'll be able to see that too. Okay, I think I covered it. It's super fun. They really, really like it. Any questions? And then I'll get into Google Forms if you'd like, for people that want to know about the Google Forms. Any questions about what we're doing, or you can even send a chat if you'd like, and I'll answer those for you.
I have a couple questions, if that's okay.
Sure, of course.
I don't know if I mean, I'm sure it would vary for everybody, but how are you administering prizes by any chance? Or are you doing them?
What I did, it was funny because what we do, I think we're unique the way we do our prizes at our bars. We have every team put $10 in, and the winning team takes the pot. What I did the first week to entice people to come in is like, I'll Venmo you $20 if you win, and they're like, don't even worry about it. It's just really fun doing it. And the people are like, if you Venmo me $20, just give it to one of the bartenders. You know, so I think the draw for a lot of them is not necessarily prizes, just to be able to hang out with their friends and have a few drinks during this whole crazy thing that's happening. So we originally said, I'll give you $20. They're like, please don't do that. I'm like, okay. I'm glad you just enjoy coming in and joining.
My next question is, did you have to factor in extra time for people to get used to something like this? Because I mean, I think once they got the hang of it, they'd be okay, but it seems like there would be some trial time.
Yeah, you know what? And I was worried about that. And I've done it like this the first week, exactly the same way I'm showing you now, and the second week. And believe it or not, everybody was actually fine with it, because you're controlling most aspects of it. You're the one that's sending them to the breakout rooms. They don't really have to do much. And then when they get to the breakout rooms, they see a question pop up. They write the answer down, and then you just got to make sure you tell them the way I did with forms, to fill out the form, which is very easy for them, or to email you. And I would suggest that you tell them the captain of their team is the one that's most proficient with computers, because they'll be able to figure it out no problem. I think most people use Google Docs and Drive and stuff and email. So I think it's pretty self-explanatory because we're controlling most of it.
Okay, thank you.
No worries. Any other questions? I see one. Yeah, I agree, Michelle. Yeah, people are used to Zoom now. And the breakout rooms make it really fun because it lets them hang out with each other. All right, do you want me to go over Google Forms? I'll show you how I do that. Okay, so back, I think I'm still sharing my screen. I am. All right, so bear with me on this one because this is a little new to me too, but I think we have it down. Okay, those are the questions, which we don't need anymore. All right, this is our Google Drive, and this is a folder I created in the Google Drive, and this is where I'm going to put everything that the teams can see. So make sure that nothing goes into this drive that has answers on it, because they'll be able to see it. So it can be a little tedious to create the forms, and if I could, I would just create one form and send it in a zip file, but for some reason it's really difficult to copy and not make it the same form so that on a Thursday, if 5 of you are doing trivia, all of the answers will show up. So you'll sort of have to do this one on your own, but it's not too bad once you get through the first few options. So new, this is in Google Drive, drive.google.com. I'm sure most people have accounts at this point. I'm going to go to a new Google form. There's going to be one form for every round. So I'm going to title this form round number 1. Don't need a description. And then we put in our first question. Now, if you want to, we don't do this because I think it ruins the anticipation of the trivia. But if you want to put the questions in themselves, go ahead and do that and then share each round. But I think that the whole point of pub quiz and team trivia is that they hear one question at a time, they talk about it instead of being able to study the whole thing. So before I do the first question, we're going to make sure we know what team they are. So you got to make sure you have one option that's their team name. This is very important. One team forgot to put their team name in the first week, and we had to sort of try to figure it out. So make sure team name is there. We're going to make this a short answer question. So you go down to short answer, click short answer, team name, and that's it. That's there. So their team name will show up when you see it. Then we're going to add another question. And I just do it like this. Question 1. Short answer. Another question. Question 2. Short answer. And you just keep going. And you're going to go down all the way to question 10. Oh, I forgot one thing. If you're doing wildcards, which we do, I create a wildcard by doing this. I got to move this up now because this should be right under team name. Okay. I'm going to write this, wildcard, question mark, and I'm going to make this multiple choice. Option 1, yes, double my points. Option 2, no, do not double my points. And you'll just see whatever their answer is there. It's not going to actually double any points, but it's going to show you when you go through the responses, which I'll show you in a minute. So let's assume everything's done for round 1. Done, 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 done. You're going to have to create this for round 2, but you can make it easy. And I'm going to call this round 1 up there too, the name of the file. 3 dots, which are your options. Make a copy. You can see the copy is going to go right into this folder, so it's easy. And I will call this round 2. Okay. And rename that round 2. And then you're done with round 2. And just keep doing that for all 5 rounds and the picture round. Now, let's say everybody answered everything they needed to answer for round 1. I go back into, this is the example. And I'm going to click the example to show you the responses. This is actually one of our responses for one of our trivia I did 2 weeks ago. You can see all the teams that played. And we go to responses and you click individual. And I went through and I just answered, I graded all these questions, put it in my score sheet. When I was done with one, moved on to the next one by clicking this arrow over, next response. Now you see they forgot to click this, and a lot of people do if they're not doubling their points because they usually are used to checking the box. So I always assume if they don't click anything, they are not doubling their points. And we go through, and you just do that each time. And then after round 2, there's going to be another round 2 responses, and you go into individual responses. To share the folder so they see all of the rounds, you're going to share it just like you would any other folder. Oh, excuse me. Where is that? Share. I make it a shareable link, and that's the link. And I just send that to everybody so they know what the folder is. And again, really, really important. Remember the questions are not, don't put the questions and answers in the folder. All right, so I'm going to come back here. All right, any questions about that? that was a little complicated. Again, if you don't want to go through all those problems with, if you go all the issues and actually making these types of different forms, you can just have them email you the answers. And that's basically it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I should go over, but it seems more complicated than it is. I was shocked how well it worked the first week, and everybody pretty much got it. And that's the best way. I know some people have been doing trivia with Facebook Live. If it's not a powerful system like Zoom is, it's going to be really difficult to get the answers and actually score them. Okay, any questions? No.
Sent a couple of questions in chat.
Oh, I can't hear you. Your mute maybe is on?
How about now?
Yeah, a little bit. I'll listen closely, Ray.
No, you're good. I said we threw a couple questions in chat for you.
Oh, great. Let me look. I don't know who the captains are yet. So the question is, are you just sharing the folder with captains? What I'm going to do is when I share the folder, I'm just going to make it a link, and I'm going to post the link right into chat. So it doesn't matter who has access to the folder, especially if you want. I mean, you can go ahead and you can put your questions in there too. That's another way of doing it. Again, I like the idea that it pops up one at a time. But if you want to do it that way and make it a little simpler, then you can just share the whole folder with everybody. But either way, you can share it with everybody. Just make sure that only one person on the team is answering the questions. And I send the link. Yeah, I send that link right in chat. Yeah. Yep. Anything else? Good luck. I hope everybody stays safe. I hope this really works. And I think this could be kind of actually a good marketing tool to get people to come back to your quiz when all this craziness ends, because it keeps them connected to you guys and not forgetting about you. And it's there's like a rivalry that's going on now. And like we have new people that joined other people's teams that said they want to come when the bar opens up again. And it's just sort of snowballing. So I hope it works for you. If any of you froze your account, again, you can always freeze your account with us, and we'll just let us know when you want to start. Even if you want to start up your account for 1 week and see if it works, and then if it doesn't work, freeze it again, just let us know. We're always here to help. We have time on our hands now, so just send us an email, and we'll help you out with anything you guys need. Even if you're setting it up and you're confused about one or two aspects of it and I didn't answer your question, email me. I'll get it right away, and I'll get back to you right away. Okay?
Can I ask one more question, Matt?
Yeah, of course, Shelby.
Can you email out this recording so that I can, like, in case I forget something?
Absolutely. I will definitely email a recording out. I was also going to post the recording. Is that okay with everybody? I'm not going to do it unless everybody is okay with that. Yeah, you're good with that? Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm going to post that for other people who maybe were too shy to come on. But yeah, I'll email that to you, and I will post that this afternoon. Okay, so you can go back and look. Good luck, guys. I hope you have a great trivia night. And hopefully you get more. I guarantee you're probably going to get more players after 2 weeks than you did in the bar. Because everybody wants something to do right now. And there's no excuses. They have nothing else to do. So stay safe. Again, if you have any questions, just let me know. And happy quizzing, and good luck with everything. See you later, guys.